Good from Merritt, British Columbia. I was going to just open my YouTube channel here to give you guys some news update on the channel on what's going on, and hope everyone's having a great week. It is hump day here in Canada, in Western Canada, where I live here. It is Wednesday. It is 7 o'clock. And let's get to here my channel so you guys can get a little understanding on what's going on here with the channel news. Okay, guys, don't forget to get over to the community section. It looks like YouTube is going to start cutting out community sections from certain channels, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do, but community channel here is pretty strong. A lot of us commenting on here. Don't forget to get in there. I like this one. The guy's lucky enough to sell. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. And this is the price of housing in Australia in 1975. And then they actually, theoretically, actually paid more for housing back in the day because interest rates are higher, and minimum wage was actually, I don't know how many percentage points lower than it would be today, but it's not hedged against inflation. So wages didn't catch up with inflation, so there's no point in doing that, right? Owen in the house. Owen's always first in the house. Owen in the house, baby. With trends in the housing market. And yeah, so that's what's happening right now, guys. We got Mike in the Night from last week is turning out to be a hit. Trends in the housing market, we go back almost 2.5 years now with 100 and something episodes. And yeah, lots of warning. I explained the Canadian real estate increase in this video here. Some people agree, some people disagree. Insolvency spike in British Columbia. Vaucler rules shredded by Trump appointees. And yeah, there's lots going on, guys. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We're going to be looking at what's happening in and around the English-speaking world. Man, is there ever so much going on. And everyone in this huge uncertainty, thinking that there's a bounce back, but we are in a dead cat bounce. We are, as a lemon seed there, dead cat bounce. Well, this was sent to me by a friend. And this one is kind of a big one, because who's going to flip the bill? Owen is in the GTA right now. He's saying that there is a dead cat pounce happening in the GTA. Owen, can you add me on Skype? You want to come on? Spencer's saying how low will interest rates go? They're going to go to negative territory, bud. If Canada, let's say the banks, for some reason, said, okay, Canadian mortgage holders, we're going to put the rate to 0%. Zero. You don't have to pay interest on your mortgage. They still couldn't get themselves out of debt. They don't make enough money. No one makes enough money. So if rates went to zero, and I said this about Australia a year ago, if rates went to zero in Australia, they still couldn't get themselves out. Everything's going to start going into negative territory now. Anyways, so boomers going bust. This is huge because this might be one reason they might implode or do bail-ins from your bank accounts to bail out the boomers. The boomers are going bust. Why elderly bankruptcy is rising in America? So in 1989, 1 in 5 Americans over 75 were in debt. By 2016, almost half were. So we're seeing it coming apart at the seams here. So 73-year-old, every month she lives on just $771 in disability payments, $100 in food stamps, and $14 in state low-income subsidy. So that $14 is good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and add me on. Oh yeah, you're on Skype with me, aren't you, Owen? Let me see if I can get Owen on the show tonight. I miss Owen. Someone just sent me a photo. Oh, free boat! Oh my God, free boat! So they're giving away a free boat here. Receive a free Bayliner boat with the condo purchase, or we'll write you a check for 25 grand. Register now. Oh my God, a free boat! Wasn't that on The Simpsons when they were sending a free boat on The Simpsons, and Homer went and he ended up getting arrested? I vaguely remember that. When Homer Simpson got a free boat and then he ended up getting, choked. Okay, We're gonna have Stephanie on the show, but unfortunately, she's on Barbara Streisand's airplane, so she can't talk to us right now. And I was quite a few people with their Skypes on. I'm looking for Owen. There he is, Owen. Let's see if he picks up the phone. I know it's like 10 o'clock at night there, so hopefully he picks up. Yo, what's up, dog?
Hey, Mike.
Good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's been the whole 3 weeks since I saw you in person.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Okay, what's going on, buddy? Are you feeling the dead cat bounce in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm feeling the dead cat bounce in Toronto. I've been reading a couple of anybody around my age group that has like 150 grand to lay down as a down payment on one of these houses over here. So I don't know who's buying them.
So, can you explain to people listening to the show what kind of houses they are? They're just your average, typical 3-bedroom starter homes, right?
Yeah, even townhomes. Townhomes, where were they? I think in Barrie, they were starting from like $600,000 for a townhome.
Wow. 600 large in Barrie, Ontario.
Yep.
So people living in Los Angeles, that would be like going out to like, I'm just trying to think what would be comparable to Barrie if you were in the LA County. It'd be like somewhere out in the desert, basically. You know?
Yeah, Barrie's about a two hour drive with with light traffic to Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. So you're still on the sidelines. How long you been on the sidelines? I know you've been on the sidelines since you've been starting watching my show.
Yeah, I've been on the sidelines for about 3 years now. 2016 is when I started to look, and then I just gave up about 4 months after.
So you started watching the show, and then you started. I hope I gave you some good advice.
Oh, you gave great advice, Mike. Great advice, not only to me, anybody else that watches the show. I'm pretty sure they can attest to that too.
But tell me, you were ready to buy in, what, in 2016? Oh, sorry, no, 2017 when it was at the peak, remember?
Yeah, around that, and I kept seeing the bidding wars, and I didn't want to jump into it, and it was already at a ridiculous price, anyways, too.
And I kept telling you, don't buy, don't. Now, what would happen today if you bought?
I would be so underwater with payments that I couldn't even manage.
Wow, wow. Well, that's good. You have a good girl that takes care of you and that understands, right? So that's good. Because I have a friend, someone that watches the show in Sydney, Australia, and he's telling me that his girlfriend's gonna leave him if he doesn't basically buy something.
Let her go then. Less stress in your life. You don't need it. Let her go. She's not the one.
Guys, can you hear me good out there? Because I'm saying someone's telling me to check my audio. There's something wrong with my microphone. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. But there's something. I might have to buy a new microphone. I can't get this thing to work. It sounds like tropical radio when I talk. It's all staticky sometimes. And it sounds like, tropical radio?
Yeah.
You know Tropical, the game?
Yeah, I know the game, Tropical.
You know when the radio announcements come on?
Yeah.
El Presidente is trying. Well, that's how my audio sounds.
Before you called me, the audio at least for me was fine. It was coming through.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Gunter's saying it's good. Yeah. Blue Yeti, Mike. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. So now you're just sidelining, buddy. Just sidelining right now, buddy. I mean, you've been on the sidelines so many years now. You're lucky you didn't get in. But you know what? Just sideline it, sideline it, maybe do some stock purchases, maybe, kind of dabble with the stock market and.
Oh yeah, I'm actually trying to figure that out right now. I'm learning my terms here and there, trying to dabble in it and trying to get more exposure to the market.
Yeah.
As they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Those stocks I sent you, they've been up and down. I don't know if you've been watching those stocks, that sheet I sent you of my personal stocks.
Yep.
I don't know if you've been watching how high they go and how low they go on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's very volatile. I don't know why.
No, there's a reason why. It's because everyone's jumping ship from the U.S. dollar and everyone's turning to gold and silver.
Well, I see gold taking off, but silver is like really lagging behind.
Oh, silver is like 50 years behind gold.
Yeah, because I took your advice. I did some research. I dabbled in a little silver mining stocks, and then gold was getting like some of the gold stocks are a little too high. So I just bought into a gold ETF.
And is that doing
Just to,
okay for you?
yeah,
Yeah, good
it's
for you.
doing all right.
Yeah, you just give it a couple of weeks. A lot of the stocks I have, they're very volatile, so they're very high risk. If you've noticed,
Oh yeah, I've noticed.
they're very high risk stocks. But you know what? If you don't take the risk, you don't take the plunge. You don't take the risk, you don't get the reward.
Yep. You don't take the risk. Plus, I didn't invest anything I'm not willing to lose anyway. So
Yeah, don't go nuts with that stuff. Just take it easy.
yeah,
Take it easy, and there's a lot of money to be made out there. So I know you want to get in the housing market, but you know what? Right now, you're not buying. You are buying. You're not even buying an investment anymore. When you're buying something for 6, 7, 800,000, you're buying a contract to slavery.
yep, pretty much. Because with those payments, I don't know how anybody's affording to live.
Well, even if you could afford it, then what's the point?
No, there would be no point because all your paychecks just going into the house, right? Your house poor at that point.
Yeah. So that's the problem. This is the problem, and you don't want to sign a contract and get yourself into. I'm lucky because I never qualified for anything because I own my own business. And you know how it is in Canada when you own your own business, the banks don't even look at you, right?
I have no clue why they didn't approve you because you had more than enough, more than most people, than what they put down on a house. So the banks are crazy.
It doesn't matter because the rates were low. I was going to use the bank's money, right? But
Yeah.
screw it. I'm not going to miss out on buying a cheap house. My house was cheap, right? So it's not like I was gambling with 6, 7, $800,000, right? That is volatile risk right there.
Yeah,
Buying
that
an
is
$800,000 house, that's a risk. I'd rather buy $1 million in penny stocks than put $1 million into into a house that you're not sure about. Dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce. Matsky saying, yeah, we've been talking about the dead cat bounce here in Toronto. What about Vancouver? July sales were up 21%. Yo-yo, things heating up apparently. Well, not what Better Dwelling. Better Dwelling is saying month over month and quarter over quarter. Vancouver's been down.
Yeah, and Toronto's going up, so I don't know. We're lagging behind you guys, or I don't know. Everybody just caught a frenzy in Toronto, I guess.
Do you think it's the end of the market time? Because end of the market ends in the second week of September. Housing sales basically die off until spring.
Uh, I think so. I'm pretty sure people are wait. I know there's some people still waiting to see what happens with the elections coming up.
Interesting.
Because they imposed that new home buyers thing, right? That first time home buyers
Yeah, I
thing.
read an article about that yesterday, and I
But I
got
don't
people
think
and I got people a petition there in the comments section for people to sign the petition to approve the foreign buyers tax because France did it, New Zealand did it. There's a lot of countries did that because it's been out of control.
oh shoot.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So when are you gonna come out and visit me, man?
Oh, when I have the time, because work is here and there right now. We're still slow, so I'm not as active as I used to be at work, but it's hit and miss right now.
So in the fall, if you get some time, maybe in the fall, come down for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Come down and hang out. I have tools here. I got actually quite a bit of work I need to get done on the house electrically, so I could just pay you to work on my house if you'd
I know
like.
you've been bugging me with the pot light thing.
Oh, I want the whole house pot lit. I want like 70 pot lights put in, and I want all kinds of stuff I want to get done here, electrically speaking. Because you're a
Yeah.
Red Seal electrician anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather trust you than myself playing with these wires.
Of course, Mike, of course.
Yeah, but Okay, Owen, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you relax and hopefully the work. Okay, tell us really quickly. So you're a Red Seal electrician and work is cutting back.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. So I'm working like 2, 3 days out of the week, and it's really sporadic. So I'll go into work Monday, Tuesday, won't come back till Thursday, and then that's it for the week. And then sometimes I'll go in Monday to Wednesday, and then that's it for the week. So it's hit and miss.
Okay. All right, but you stay strong. Just keep a positive attitude and look at the bright side. You have a pile of savings that you didn't put into a house that you could live off if things do get really dangerously slow.
Yeah, I do, Mike. Thank you for all the info that you've provided me and anyone else that is listening or watching your channel.
Yeah. Okay, God bless you, Owen, and we'll talk soon. Say hi to your mom for me, eh?
I will, Mike.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, that's my man, Owen. All right. Yeah, he's a Red Seal electrician, top of the line of what he does, and yeah, he's having a kind of a tough time. Yeah, he's union, definitely union. High-rise sector is busy here. Where are you, East Afro dude? Where are you, East Afro dude? Adrian's in the house here saying, hello, Mike and friends. This is Adrian from Toronto. People are commuting back to Kitchener from Toronto, as an example, are telling me it's taking 2 hours to get home. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yep. That's what's happening. People are going away from the cities, but they're not leaving the cities. They're still working on the cities. So, it's like Vancouver. You go there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, slammed. The city's slammed. You go there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, after 5, 6 p.m., dead as a doornail. All the bars are closed, nightclubs are closed, dead. You go on the weekend, dead. Because no one lives there. No one lives in Vancouver anymore. Everyone's left. People live there, but East Afro dudes in Toronto. East Afro dudes in Toronto. And what else is going on here? Red Pill Millennial in the house. I hope Stephen Thomas isn't. Let's see if he's having dinner somewhere. Well, I gotta call Stephen Thomas. I gotta see what the heck is going on with this guy.
The person whom you're trying is currently unavailable.
Okay, Stephen Thomas is not in the house. I want to get him to jump on real quick because I wanted him to... Stevie! Let's get Stephen Williams on the show. He's the one that brought the positiveness to the channel about how... Let's get him on, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a second here. He lives in Niagara Falls, Ontario. I hope he's not in jail. He'll call back. He always calls back. He always calls back. Alright, I'll try and get him on the show in a bit. He's got some pretty good information of what's happening in the Golden Horseshoe area in Ontario. So let's get here real quick. So we were going to get Stephanie on the show. Unfortunately, she can't make it because she's on Barbara Streisand's plane right now, so she can't get on the show. Okay, so back to this important story. Where the hell did it go? So back to the channel, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm on Patreon and Subscribestar, and I upload to BitChute once a week or twice a week, and Minds.com. So the most important story, this is a very important one because who's going to flip this bill? Or who's going to take care of the elderly? Because boomers are going bust while elderly bankruptcy is rising in America. So half of Americans 75 and over are in debt and don't have money. So this is really tough. And that's why the amount of homelessness in California is absolutely phenomenal. LA County is sitting at just under 50,000. 50,000 in LA County. And 17,000 in the city of Los Angeles. So that's big numbers. San Francisco's at 22. Let's get the homeless graph back up. We had this graph up a week and a half ago. So let's get the homeless. So is this homeless in California? So let's see if it gets homeless in California by county. Because there's a reason why, guys, we're looking into this and why it's very important. It's because we need to come to terms of what's happening in these biggest cities, because these biggest cities are basically the ones, these biggest cities are the ones that basically are the ones that are going to kind of lead the way or lead the pack. So, okay, this is wrong. These numbers are completely. We were on the show, what was it, a week ago, and we were going over live coverage of the homelessness. Yes, Sacramento has 36 homeless people for every 10,000. Okay, that's right. Okay. Okay, Los Angeles, homeless. Here it is. It's by county here. All right, this is an important one, guys. This is important because these big cities, the biggest cities, are leading the ways, right, for the homeless situation. Okay, California has about 134,000 homeless people, up nearly 14% from the prior year. This will come to an English-speaking big city country near you. Okay? They counted over 11,000 homeless in the street of Inahem. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, 11,000. That's good. That's not 30,000 and 40 like other cities. The homelessness is just beyond me, and I bring it up very, very. Here it is. Okay. All right. So 21,000. Okay. So 112,756 individuals are homeless in the state of California. 21,522 people in families with children, and 15,458 unaccompanied homeless youth. 15,000 youth. 11,472 veterans and 35,798 chronically homeless individuals. This is not good, guys. We're going to keep our finger on the pulse with the California housing crisis, because 134,000 homeless people is nothing to joke around about. And it's not something that we should take lightly, because this is a big deal. This is a huge deal, because a lot of these Americans that are homeless, probably 97% of them, are American proper. A lot of them born and raised in America. A lot of them born and raised and educated in America. Okay? So a lot of these people are American proper. We're not playing games here. You know what I'm saying? We're talking educated. We're talking people that know the lay of the land, people that grew up watching the Jeffersons and watching the Simpsons and stuff, people that did have good. This is a lot of people. All right. Yeah. Stevie B says if you have no hope finding work, you turn to drugs. It's pretty tough. Too many homeless people. We got to keep our finger on the pulse with this because this is pretty bad. Okay, better dwelling. TransUnion. Canadian millennials are racking up over 2 times the debt over other generations. So not only are millennials the smartest and most educated generation in history of all the generations, they're also the ones that spend the most money. Canadians millennials are racking up quite a bit of tab. According to a major credit card agency, TransUnion Canada released their latest insights and demographic credit trends. Millennials now hold more debt than the baby boomer generation for the first time ever. In fact, they borrowed almost $3 out of $4 in debt added to the pile. Wow. National Bank, Canadian real estate prices deflation with smallest rise in 10 years. I covered that on my channel. I do this video and explain the rise. Canadian real estate prices return to growth after brief decline. This week's top stories: Canadian furthers dependency on real estate industry, while 1 in 7 buyers now need mom and dad to help. And 1 in 7 first-time home buyers are tapping into the bank of mom and dad. Yeah. Oh, somebody, Shot Clips, sent me $2. Credit card rate cut is needed to help the system. Yeah, if they lower rates, but the problem is, here's the problem with lowering rates on credit cards. I'm all for, people not paying. It's enslavement. Interest rate is like a modern day invisible handcuffs. With me, I see it more. If they lower your rates, then that means you could take on more debt, so they could give you more and you could borrow more. That's what I'm afraid of, guys. Oh, yeah, well, he's okay now because now he's paying less debt. So he's got less and we could give him more money, right? Okay, we got Stephen Thompson here from Melbourne, Australia. Is going to give us an insight on what the heck is going on. We need to talk to him.
Hello.
Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you, my brother?
Very well, busy, but very well.
Okay, I know you work in the finance or financial, help or financial, helping people and setting
That's
people
right.
up with, proper retirement, ways to retire, financial planning, all that stuff. What is going on right now in Melbourne, Australia?
Well, in Australia in general, there's a proposed cash ban coming into Parliament on September the 9th. There's law to be passed by Parliament, so there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in relation to that. It's also involving proposals to ban cryptocurrencies.
So do you see them? So if they've already lowered rates, they're going to lower rates even further. Do you see? I did a video about a year ago saying that even if Australia went to 0% interest rates, they still couldn't get themselves out. Do you see them basically going into negative rates?
Yes, they will. And I would go so far as to say it won't be like up under 1%. It'll be more like 3 or 4% plus.
Huh. So I see them going into personally, like, even if they went into negative rate territory, the typical Australian proper still doesn't make enough to get himself out.
No, not at all, because the income is either too lumpy or too small.
So do you feel that the media or the local media down in Australia now is starting to actually come to grips and telling people the truth?
No, they're really only tinkering at the edges with the truth. It's almost like they have a vested interest in not telling people what's really going on.
It's kind of sad because the media should be our watchdog, right? Up in the next quarter in Australia, do you see spring sales picking up?
There's a lot of chatter about that listings will go up, but no one really knows just yet who will buy them because there's not many registered buyers.
So the stress test, basically the stress test is doing its job.
Correct. So that could cause a massive headache in about 2 or 3 months.
Wow. Wow. So Sydney, so Melbourne, Sydney are all the all the major cities in Australia are facing the same trend. Same with all the cities in Canada. Same with all the western cities in the United States. Same thing with the UK. This pattern. Do you see a crawlback or a retreat from foreign investing?
Definitely, because the capital controls, particularly in China, are taking effect now. So you don't have as many Chinese buyers coming into Australia now. What you do have is Malaysian buyers in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point of view, you've got the Malaysians taking over, but they don't have the same population as the Chinese. So it's going to run out of puff sooner, not later.
Do you think we're in a recession now, or do you think what do you think?
I believe we are in recession or very close to it. I just think to prove it, you're going to have to get some financial reports. Like today, it was announced annual net profit for Qantas went down by 17%.
That is huge. And we're seeing mass layoffs in the retail sector because consumer confidence is the lowest since it's been since 1975.
That's right.
So that's gotta hurt the Australian proper. So everything I'm seeing about Australia, it's everything's up, and they're saying that their bidding wars are back, and everything's doing great, and the cranes are going back up, and people are buying condos. I don't believe anything I'm seeing.
You can't. There was a documentary on Australia's ABC 2 nights ago. It's talking about the apartment buildings that are falling over or degenerating because of poor construction.
Oh yeah, they've been mixing their concrete with shredded Japanese newspapers and rotten apple cores.
Yeah, it's called paper mache out here.
Yeah. I heard about that, and I was following the Opal Tower and all those other towers there. It's been a nightmare for a lot of people there.
That's right, because a lot of people bought in at above the $1 million mark or above $800,000, and now they're on the verge of bankruptcy because, well, they can't have an income.
Well, yeah, they're screwed. They're out of their place. They don't have a place to live. They're being put up in hotels. They have no place to call home. And some of them that do have places there, sadly, either have a beam or a piece of structure going through their building that wasn't there once upon a time, and they're screwed.
Yeah, literally.
So, yeah. Okay. So, do you see a lot of young people jumping on the bandwagon still, or is that has cooled down because of the stress testing?
No way. There's some first home buyers going into the market, but not many. The volumes are like in the hundreds instead of the thousands.
Okay. So
You're talking about a quarter of what it was 12 months ago.
So it's down to a quarter of what it was from a year ago. That's good. I mean, that's good to know. That's good. Because I know the stress test model works in across Australia except the most expensive cities. But you go 2 hours out of Sydney, the stress test would work.
Yes.
So that goes to show that the Australian proper doesn't nearly make anywhere enough to buy in his own city, the major city.
No, that's correct, because the valuations just don't match the incomes.
Yeah, it's scary. All right, Stevie, I want to appreciate you coming on and giving us a little insight on what's happening in Melbourne, Australia.
Thank you very much, Mike, and all the best to you and your family.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That is Stephen Thomas down in Melbourne, Australia, giving us a little insight. He does financial planning for people, and man, he's given us the insight. A lot of young people not getting back into the markets because they're scared, and a lot of people. The stress testing is also holding quite a few people back. Guys, how's my audio? Is it working good, or is it crackling? Does it sound like tropical radio? Tropical radio announcements. That's what my audio sounds like. I gotta buy a new mic, guys. I'm constantly buying mics. I don't know what to do. This is gonna be like the fifth mic I'm buying in like a year. I mean, is this thing made in China? Is that why? No, it's made in Japan. It loud when you switch back. Yeah, so maybe when I have someone on the show, it gets loud. Sounds good. Audio went up after you close Skype. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I have to adjust the audio when I go on Skype. So, okay, what's going on? Okay, so that's what's happening there. Let's move on. Mississauga, risk of housing crash. Well, Mississauga is a suburb. It used to be a suburb. Now it's a metropolis of Toronto. And detached prices went past $1 million. And for a small home, out-of-dated home, selling tens of thousands over asking. And right now, the only people seeing the biggest detached house price drops are people in Richmond Hill, King City, Woodbridge. Richmond Hill properties saw drops of $800,000 for detached homes. 800 large. Oh, 800 large. Yeah, Stevie B saying I need to get a soundboard for my PC. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that stuff. I'm not really technically savvy when it comes to computers and stuff. Like, I mean, I could probably build a tower, put the software, the drivers. Gary Medeiros in the house. Gary Medeiros. Let's see if, Gary, you want to come on the show and tell us what's going on? I need Gary Medeiros on the house. Gary Medeiros in the house to tell us what is going on. Kevin Thompson. Kevin Thompson's the best, man. I love Kevin Thompson. Yeah, I think I need a new computer. I bought a mic. I bought a couple other things to try and see if it wasn't the computer, but the computer's crap. Computer's like 10 years old. All right, who we got here? Someone sent me an article here. Was this sent now? When was this sent? Mascot Towers. Hold on. When was this sent today? No, that was August 3rd. Mascot Towers and other towers in Sydney that are pretty much. Let me see if I can get Stephen Williams on the show. I just Stephen Williams from the Stephen Williams channel. Steven isn't picking up. I hope he's okay. He usually picks up the phone right away when I call. He's a friend of ours living in Niagara Falls, Ontario. That could give us a really, really good insight on what's happening in the Golden Horseshoe area. And he messaged me today, and I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing okay. You know. Oh, RBC! Look! I got a pending credit card. I could win $10,000 to $10,000 cash. Yeah, I'm not interested. So, hot. Ooh, TP lives near Niagara Falls. Tyler, you guys add me on Skype, guys. Mike Martin's 1980. Mikey, buzz down and get a teen burger. I'll help you stop yawning, buddy. No, it's just the heat. It's hot, and I was working on the store today. I did a lot of work on the store today. And the store looks really good. You guys have no idea. You guys have no idea. I'm going to do a video for you guys showing the progress on that store. I'm dedicating that store to my dad. And who passed away a month ago today, pretty much. Is it today? Yeah. It's been a month now since I lost my dad. And it's been really hard. It's been really hard, you know. He was a good inspiration and a role model in my life, and it's been hard. And then Toronto, look at this from a few days ago. What housing bubble? Toronto realtor bursts the bubble talk. What bubble? Yeah, they start hearing about a crash and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. What else we got going on? U.S. created 500,000 fewer jobs since 2018 that previously reported new figures show. Turns out the hiring wasn't nearly as strong as 2018 as nearly 2019, as the government initially reported by 500,000 jobs. The economy had about 501,000 fewer jobs as March 2019 than the Bureau. Don't worry about it. In Canada, I was reading the article from a few months back with you guys. Canada created 400,000 jobs in a month. So, I mean, Canada, you know? Who else is out there? The Raven's out there. I hope he's okay. Let's see what the Raven's up to. I'm not sure if he's working, but...
How's it going, Mike?
What's up, dog?
How's it going?
Good. You are live on trends in the housing market.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. I wanted to bring an article. There's one article here that needs to be brought to attention, because I think this is actually a bigger deal than what people are kind of playing it out to be. But it says boomers are going bust and elderly bankruptcies rising in America. But back in the day, in the 80s, 1 in 5 Americans 1 in 5 boomers were in debt. Now half are in debt. This is a big deal because people don't understand the consequences or the repercussions of...
You know what? You're right about that. Yeah, it is a big deal, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And with interest rates going to zero, pensions will fail, insurance companies will fail, and anybody on fixed income. And that's your baby boomers. 10,000 are retiring every single day in the U.S. They lowered the Social Security in the U.S. They say it runs out by 2039. They lowered it to 2034, and you watch, they're going to lower it again. They haven't projected properly, and plus with interest and debts growing. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of poor older people, and they're going to need a lot of help, and then it's not going to be there for them.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
I'm seeing what's going on here, and a lot of people don't know how dangerous this is going to be in the next, 1 to 3 years from now, because this is, especially with Canadians going into retirement, and a lot of Canadians going into retirement, and a lot of boomers underwater owning their homes because they bought those midnight commercials you see. Do you own your home? Are you over 65? Well, we could give you a reverse mortgage. Enjoy the rest of your life. Well, a lot of them got into that, and a lot of them are still alive.
You know, it's funny you say that, reverse mortgage. You lost your dad there a few weeks ago. My uncle actually passed away on the same day that your dad did. And we've been going through his mortgage and everything. And we found out the other day that he did a reverse mortgage on his house. And he had been feeding off of his mortgage, what he had paid off on his. So he timed it good because, well, nothing's ever good like that. But it worked for him because, we don't care if he left us any money or nothing, that as long as he lived a good life. But he was using the money out of his mortgage to live a better life, and he ended up dying of cancer at 78 years old, right? And we just realized he was reverse mortgaging. We didn't know that. I didn't know that he was doing that. Like, why would he tell me anyway? Eh?
Yeah, so this is becoming a huge problem. And then this dips into what's happening in California. California right now, as of an article from CNBC, stated 134,000 homeless people right now in the state of California.
Yeah, I was just looking at an article there on Zero Hedge tonight about the homeless problems and that it's out of control. That the baby boomers, the retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
I I was in Safeway the other day, and this lady was counting her change to buy like 4 slices of ham. And I was like, if I had no cash on me, I was going to give her some money, like $20 here. I can't believe they're that strapped for money. But I guess 70% of Canadians don't have a pension, you know. And what's going to happen to pensions anyway? We all know where pensions are going. It's not going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. Now, do you see, because right now we have a lot of tent cities spread across Canada, but the media is doing a good job in covering most of it, because I heard of tent cities in really small suburban towns in the interior of like BC, in the interior of Ontario, in the interior of even parts even in southern Manitoba that I never even thought existed, and they exist, but you gotta look for them.
Yeah.
Why are they covering up these 10 cities?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I see small ones in Winnipeg. They're just small ones, you know, like they get dismantled very quickly. The police are on it, eh? It's an eyesore. They want to hide it, but they can't hide it. And with the issues that we all know cities are facing now with the drugs and that, it's getting more prevalent out there, eh? It's picking up speed. Crime rates are picking up speed.
Okay, yeah. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Canadian millennials are racking up over 2 times the debt than any other generation.
I believe it.
The most educated people, or the most educated generation, is racking up more debt than they're making. Like, this is crazy. This is self-destruction.
The currency's only going to get cheaper too. It's not going to go as far. Hey, inflation, Canada, second month in a row they've hit 2%. Eh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what they're telling us, because it could be worse.
Yeah. Well, we all know it's worse. Yeah, they don't count rent, food, or gasoline, so that the market analysts don't eat, drive, or live anywhere. Yeah.
And
they do that, eh? They have their market basket, and then they put all this stuff in there, and they track the CPI, the consumer price index. They throw it all in the basket, and then they check the price every month. That this goes higher, and when it goes a little too high, they take something out and they throw like a flat screen TV in there, because that brings it back. That's just all manipulated. The whole thing.
Did you see that? Did you watch this show pretty much from the beginning? Did you see that ad for a boat if you buy a condo?
No.
I had it here.
No.
I gotta find who sent that to me. Hold on.
I was watching your coffee show just about 15 minutes ago. I noticed you were rolling through the stop signs.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, how many people were on the road?
No one. In Winnipeg?
Huh?
You know what? In Winnipeg, you could be getting robbed. You could call a cop. They would take them 45 minutes to get here. You roll through a stop sign, they're there, right there. Here's your $200 ticket. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But I'm trying to find the photo here that someone sent me of the new yacht. There was a new yacht. Basically, not a yacht, like a fishing boat. If you buy a condo, they'll throw in a fishing boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I wanted to, unfortunately, I don't see it here. I don't see the... Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right, here goes. Ready?
Yeah.
Receive a free Bayliner boat with condo purchase, or we'll write you a check for $25,000.
Really?
Yeah, a Bayliner boat.
I have a Bayliner.
Yeah. Well, if you buy a condo for like $1 million, they'll throw this in.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's too pricey out there.
Yeah, it is getting too pricey out there. So now with millennials racking up debt that they can't afford, they're never going to get in the housing market then.
No, they're not. No, they're going to get screwed. That's why I said before, there's nowhere for them to get yield. Where are they going to get yield? They can't. The opportunities aren't there that we had. Hey, okay. And as far, remember I talked about automation yesterday. Yesterday at work, no more rule books, no more paper at CN. I got a computer now. They give us all computers, handheld computers. Every crew that you see on a train is now going to carry a computer. Everything we do is going to be through that computer, linked to satellites. It all runs on data, and every single one of us now has two guys on board. Each have a little handheld computer. Everything we sign everything on digitally, sign our signature. Mm-hmm. I don't know what jobs that's going to get rid of, but it's going to get rid of a few, quite a few actually.
Can you see porn on that?
No,
oh.
No.
All right.
And our yard is dead.
So that means no economic wise, what is that signaling to you?
Me and my buddy drove through the yard yesterday, and when you can see right across a rail yard because there's no boxcars in your way, that means it's not good. No, that's a mile across. You're looking at over 100 tracks, and you can see right across. Last time I could see right across was in 2016, and yeah, so it's slow. And right now, see, I'm on holidays. They said to me, they called me up and said, "Hey, do you want your holidays now instead of September, October?" I said, "Sure, I'll take them now." 6 weeks. They bumped me back, and they're handing out leave of absences to anybody who wants a leave of absence. You want to take a month off? You want a month off? Go right now. They're trying to keep people from getting laid off.
Yeah,
they're giving out leave of absences. They're doing whatever they can do to maintain, to retain their people from getting leaving and getting another job. It's slow, and it's going to get a lot slower.
It's crippling. Well, so what do you have to say to Toronto real estate realtors that are saying, "What housing bubble? We're not in a housing bubble." What do you say about those realtors?
Is that realtor's name Ben Bernanke?
Oh,
That's what he said.
You know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, that's what he said in 2007. We see a strong market.
Yeah.
You know what? They're cheerleaders. If a cheerleader knows that the quarterback's ankle's sprained, are they still not going to cheer for him? You know?
Yeah. Well, not only that. If you're smart, you will bet on the other team.
Yeah. Didn't Pete Rose do that?
Yeah, Pete Rose bet on his own team to lose, and then he would throw the game.
Yeah.
Okay, U.S. created 500,000 fewer jobs since 2018.
I don't believe their numbers. I don't believe anything that they put out.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah.
I just don't. Everything they say and do, question it. Everything. Let your common sense be your guide when it comes to these people. Strongest economy ever, yeah.
Now they're calling for underemployment in Australia. Australia's job market keeps defying gravity as hiring soars, but underemployment and underutilization rate edges up. I don't believe that. I've been talking to people from Australia all week, and they're telling me that a lot of people are having a tough time finding a job that's not temporary or that's not part-time or bullcrap where they don't get the full benefits. So I don't know what's going on in Australia, but they're always telling you it's good down under, but when you talk to people down there, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, you know what? It hits some people, it doesn't hit the others. Like Canada's doing fairly okay. We're not in a crash. You could ask some GM workers out east if we're in a crash. They'll probably tell you that they're in a crash. Mm-hmm. It hits some, it doesn't hit others, eh? It's you know what? It's all going to come to fruition, and then it's going to be no more talking about, oh, this is going to. No, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen faster than you thought it could happen.
Well, we got.
And then what do you do then?
Yeah, what do you do? Yeah. Well, we got one here. Video games, one of the biggest industries. World's largest video game retailer laid off 120 more people in the latest sign that it's struggling to adapt to the changing market.
RV sales are down 20% in the States.
Yeah, so are Freightliners and Freightliners, Peterbilts, and
81%. All-paid trucks, yeah, 81%. It's everywhere. I'm seeing half-filled trains going back and forth across the country. Half-filled, intermodal. Those are the C-cans, the C-can train. We're getting 15 to 18 trains every single day coming from your part of the world to Winnipeg this way, coming from you to us. 15 to 18 double-stack 10,000-foot trains. That's a lot of traffic. Half of them I'm looking at now have 4,000 or 5,000 feet of empty container cars with no containers on them.
That's not good.
I tell these conductors I work with, I say, look at that. That's a red flag right there. Better save your pesos there.
Well, it says here, look at this. PES layoff accelerate as Philadelphia refinery closes. And it is removing and laying off all of its unionized workforce.
Yeah.
Well, they want to get rid of the union, right?
Yeah. And look at us.
Mold
Automation.
creeping.
How many jobs did we lose off these computers?
Yeah.
Save them a lot of paper, though. The amount of paper we use, unbelievable. Unbelievable. But now, so it's good that way, but it's going to cost a lot of jobs.
So, someone says somebody was working for Toys R Us and their check bounced.
I don't know.
Well, we're not in good times when that happens, right?
Yeah.
We're not hitting good times right now. I don't know where things are headed. I'm going to be really frank with you, Raven.
You're right, though. What you said about the baby boomers, the people retiring, these interest rates, where are we going? We're going to zero. The U.S. says they want to shorten the spread between them and sovereign countries who are already at zero. We got, 15 trillion, 16 trillion negative bonds? What's the entire gold market? 10 trillion. Mm-hmm. That tells you how much is in negative. And where are we going?
But the problem is if they have to fill these orders, or if these orders need to be filled, backed by, they just don't have enough gold on the planet to do it.
Oh, no. But people say, there's not enough gold to make gold a currency. Just like Jim Rickards says, revalue the price of gold. They did it in the 30s.
Yeah.
Roosevelt.
But the thing is, with the derivatives and the amount of money that's out there already, and the amount of IOUs and the printing money, I think it'd be like close to $160,000 to back 1 ounce of gold with the amount of money that's already been printed, I'm saying, out there.
It all depends on what percentage you want to back the gold. You want to do a 40% backing, I think it's around 10 grand an ounce. I think I'm just going on what James Rickards, he said it's grade 8 math on the napkin.
But Raven, I mean, think about the billions and billions of dollars that they're printing every year.
You know what? I would like to pose them this question. You're taking us back to zero. You only got it up to 2.25 in the US and 175 in Canada, okay? You're taking us back to zero. Now we know the pressure will be on all the pensions in North America, insurance companies, and the retired people that are looking at some kind of interest rate, fixed income. It kills them. What happens when we go to zero? How are you going to lift us back off of zero? How are you they're probably going past zero to negative because they don't got the 4 or 5% they need to excite an economy again. 08, they went from 5.5 to zero. What are we going to do? Go from 2.25 to zero? Do you think that's going to do much?
Not enough. That's not enough hedge. That's not enough of a hedge, and it's not enough delta, and it's not enough aggregation.
What's the end product here? We go to zero. Then what? You print, you quantitative easing, you do rounds. They ended that in the States October 29th, 2014. They ended QE. I don't believe that. They were printing 50 billion, 100 billion every month out the back door. I don't believe, but that was for psychological reasons, public perception, because we know what that can do. Public perception can sink an economy. They had to end it. They even tried to change the name of QE to Operation Twist.
Yes, they did. I remember that.
We got to be smart here. It's all about public perception, okay? And when we go to zero here, how are we ever going to lift back off that?
Well, no, because everything's so overly priced. Everything is overly heated. Everything's so overly inflated. So we've created this by lowering rates and raising asset bubbles by lowering rates. Now, the the generation before me, the millennials, and then the ones before them are all screwed because they'll never make enough money to catch up to the overly inflated pricing of food, gasoline, automobiles, houses. They'll just there's no point. They have no point, and they have no it's almost like your basically shut out before you could even try.
Exactly. What do you do? Like, I feel sorry for them. You know, they should have opportunity to raise a family, to buy a house, to live the dream, you know. You feel sorry. And this is all off the greed of the elites. And they'll pay for this when the time comes. They will pay for this.
Yeah.
There'll a lot of people will have to answer for all of the greed and corruption.
I mean, if we just left, the economy on autopilot from 2007, 2008, a lot of banks would have defaulted. It would have been a huge reset for a lot of people. But they did everything to keep, Bear Stearns and all those Goldman Sachs and do whatever they could do to keep these people afloat. This was an absolute mistake to bail out a lot of these banks on the back of taxpayers' money, or the backs of taxpayers' futures.
Nothing will ever be solved until you separate money from politics.
Yeah.
You'll never solve anything because greed and lobbyists, and that's it.
It's disgusting.
And just to enrich a few.
I know.
And there's, yeah.
It's not like go ahead.
How do those people set their morals aside? Because when this all plays out, at the very best scenario that we have looking in front of us is to be Japan. That's our best scenario. Just a zombie economy.
Stagnation,
Yeah.
Slight deflation, and a slight
Yeah.
Japan,
That's the best.
Japan could do that. That's the best case scenario. But Germany is hoping to be the next Japan, but Germany it won't work. Why? Because Germany is so indebted right now, and they've put themselves in a position, especially with one of their biggest banks, Deutsche Bank, really, really, really bringing down all of Germany, and it's going to send a reverberation across all the banking world, because they're just going to keep bailing out Deutsche Bank and bailing out their assets. Why don't they divvy up the assets, start dissecting the bank into different categories, and actually start divvying up the assets and start giving some back to the people in a way where this will allow them to have more long-term customer and consumerism, and kind of maybe resuscitate the economy some way, Because what do they need all these trillions of dollars in assets when they can't even keep any of it afloat?
It's past that. We're past that point. The government should be teaching us how to farm right now, how to grow food. They should be subsidizing seeds, starting community gardens to help people who are not going to be able to afford ends meet. To maybe if they could grow some tomatoes, some zucchinis, cucumbers to help supplement their diets. That's what the government should be doing right now, because they can pretend that we don't know what's going on, but we all do know what's going on. We know exactly the situation. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what they've done. They're in a conundrum. They're not making the right choices, and they don't have our best interest at hand. They should, every small city everywhere should be putting out public service announcements. Come out and garden on Saturdays, free gardening tips and tricks, and they should be subsidizing that and helping us with green spaces and learning how to grow food again, if they actually cared about us. They don't. You got the wrong people running the show. And on the other one, in your chat room, was ever heard of them subsidizing gardens? And I see them around the city. There's the odd little group that gardens together. You'll see these little outcrops in places. They should be setting up acres and acres. They got lots of land. Mm-hmm. What does it hurt to put a garden there? Mm-hmm. And then you, at least some of your older people, you can donate the food. You can. You know what? I drove down my street today. I came off the main street. There was a lineup around the corner for people at a food bank. I never saw that before. I probably just didn't drive at the right time.
This morning there was a lineup at the food bank too in Merritt.
Yeah, you know what? I bought a ribeye steak yesterday, and the guy looks at me and he goes, "That's $25, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But I guess tell people that, eh?
That's so what? I mean, I haven't had steak in a while, only not because I don't want to eat steak. It's because I'm lazy and I can't cook. And my family's still sorting things out east, right? So
Yeah.
so I've been I have this thing in my house, Raven. It looks
Yeah.
like it was built around. It was invented at the turn of the century of the last century, where you put utensils and like glassware that you drink from inside of it, and it's supposed to wash it for you.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
They call it
Yeah. I had one.
what do they call
I had
that?
one of those.
A
Her name was
dishwasher?
Kelly. Yeah.
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 So I
I
gotta
don't.
learn
I
how to
don't
use
have
this.
one.
I have no idea how to use a dishwasher.
I've cooked in like I've lived alone for a decade. I cooked maybe 20 times in my life. I order out. That's it.
And then
I work at a
not only that, I have to do laundry. I have no idea how to use this washing machine. So yeah. My wife
Yeah.
messaged me. She goes, "Are you washing your clothes?" She goes, like, "I'm going through every piece of article of clothing I own."
Yeah.
So,
I've
yeah,
got a,
yeah, but yeah, yeah.
I have a question for you here.
Go ahead, sir.
Is Stephen Plon's going to cut the interest rates on September 4th? Bank of Canada.
He has to.
You think so? We have 2%
It's not the right
inflation.
thing to do. I go against it, but they're gonna force his hand to. There's no choice.
You think so, eh?
He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't want to. I don't want to. They have to keep this going. Unless they start going in the right direction, if we are creating jobs in Canada and the US, if there's an economy out there and consumer confidence looks good, then why the hell not raise rates?
No, they can't raise rates. It's people are struggling. Corporate debt. What's corporate debt? Would it go from 4 to 9 trillion? That's a whole big. Oh, there's so much debt.
We got eBayQ sending me 200 yen. Yep, saying PMO for
They're-
life.
Yeah.
Steve
He's
Stevens-
from.
Huh?
They're letting he's from China. Eh? They're letting their currency devalue against gold.
Oh.
I watched a 1 hour interview today with Kyle Bass and Steve Bannon about China.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. Oh, and the way they talk about Trump, he stood his ground. He's the only guy out there, who's trying to stop these countries from robbing them, pretty much, I didn't see Obama doing it or Bush doing it. All I seen them doing was enriching their buddies.
Of
And
course.
I'm sure Trump's enriching his buddies too, but at least he's, who knows, though it could all just be bogus.
We got Steve Stevens in the comments saying all vacant spaces in Toronto and condos are going up. Forget about gardens. And Papa Pest says he has to if America have to, otherwise the dollar versus the loonie will be too far apart. Yeah, he has to. And I don't want to. I want us to raise rates to 5.5%.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No, because then if that happens, then we could actually get some money back on our savings in our bank accounts. We could actually look forward to getting a good a yield, a good a good payback on our bonds. The bond market will rally, right?
We're addicted to easy money, Mike. We're addicted to it. The market wants the rates. We're addicted to easy money. Everybody wants the easy money. Everybody wants to pay 0 interest on their truck. Everybody wants a variable mortgage at 1.5% on their house. We all want what we can't have. We want easy money.
But people
Everybody's
don't understand. If rates go to 13% and the houses go down to like 80,000, you'll pay it off faster as opposed to like back in the day, like we did, as opposed to doing it at 1% and the house is $1 million. In the end, you probably pay more in finance fees with redoing your mortgage and repackaging your mortgage every 5 years and refinancing than you do anything else.
I'll tell you another thing. We're living through this. Most of us are. the people, how many people in your chat room right now? I'm not looking at what it's 60, 70, 50. How many are in there?
85 people.
85 people. You got 85 students right there who are going to go through this because they're paying attention. They're sitting in this room for a reason because something clicked and they realized what's going on and it bothers them and they're looking at it and they realize it's a problem, but they're learning as they're watching and they're reading and they're studying. They're going to get a hell of an education. Everybody else, it'll just hit them in the chin. They won't know what went on. But all the people in your room that are watching and studying are going to learn, and they're going to know how to attack certain markets 10 years down the road. They're going to look back at this and go, I watched it every minute. I watched that gold go up. I watched the silver go down. I watched this. They did that. This happened. They did this. That happened. They're learning. This is going to be a huge learning experience for everyone. And it's just good that there's like-minded people out there willing to learn. And they should benefit in the future from it, eh? And they will. They will. So this is going to help a lot of people. You know, maybe it'll be a harder time to earn money. There's always going to be opportunity. But I think the people that in your chat room will be more apt to find that opportunity than people that are just playing on their phones, playing video games. They don't care, eh? They don't pay any attention to it. They never had they were too lazy to understand it in the first place. So why would they ever, you know?
Yeah,
hell of a learning experience. I learn a lot, like reading every day and studying and watching this. It's very fascinating. I find it extremely fascinating.
We got Steve the Plumber. Pelosi will not raise rates. He will most likely keep it on hold. However, I believe that the Bank of Canada will cut rates by the end of the year. They have to. Steve, I don't know if he's busy. I don't know where he is, if he's tied up. If he wants to come on the show. And
yeah, you know what?
Huh?
Steve asked me 2-3 weeks ago. He asked me he said, do you think they're going to raise or cut rates? I can't remember what his question was. It was something about Stephen Plum's Bank of Canada. Do you think he's going to cut rates? Because the U.S. was talking about it. See how much changes in 3 weeks? Now we know the U.S. is going on a massive nosedive on their rates. Stephen Plum, I believe September 4th will cut 0.25%.
But this is going to damage. This is going to damage the bond market. It's going to damage the bond market's going to go to zero. Okay.
You know what? We're all going negative. This is probably their plan. And cashless, they don't want you to be able to take your wealth away from the bank.
Well, that's why they're eliminating bank machines in Northern Europe, and they're eliminating ATM and bank machines, and they're eliminating them in parts of Australia. So these elderly people have to drive 40 minutes to make a bank deposit or a withdrawal.
Yeah. You know how many people in India don't even have a bank card? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But so like Visa, MasterCard, Bill Gates, those are the people pushing the buttons on that cashless society. They get all those little fees, eh? They can live off the fees. Mm-hmm. But so now we're all holding precious metals. I'm holding it. You're probably holding it. But like most of the people in your room probably got some sort of precious metal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we're our own central bank, like they say. So you got to remember, they make the rules. We just follow the rules. To some degree, right? We follow the rules. Are they going to make silver and gold illegal? Are they going to force it?
They did back in the 40s, remember?
In the 30s, yeah. 1933, Roosevelt put out that law. Turn in your gold, or it's a $10,000 fine, which is $165,000 in today's dollars, or 10 years in jail. And they got 5.5 tons of gold turned in, mostly in coins, rings, whatever. Eh?
That's gotta suck. That's gotta suck. Big time.
They can do whatever they want. And look at that in India there, they put out a story the other day saying they're proposing to make crypto illegal. Only the central bank crypto you can use. Yeah,
they're going to start doing that too, and it's going to. You know what they're going to start doing, and I spoke to someone in South Carolina a couple of days ago, that his Bitcoin money that he made from Bitcoin when he bought it was when it was at $2 and sold it for $20,000, that the feds took all his money, even though he legitimately made it, legitimately mined it back in the day, legitimately cashed it in, and the feds took all his money.
Yeah.
Like when I say feds, I mean like as in like the FBI. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
Like I mean, yeah. or the was it the Treasury Department, American Treasury Department or something? Like it's like what the hell?
Well, see, back in the 30s, you couldn't even open your safety deposit box without having an agent standing there, you know? And that's why these people in California are finding $10 million in gold coins buried in cans in their backyard. Still to this day, they happen. When that happened? Yeah, last year, the year before, those people out for a walk on their property found gold coins in a can. That's all from the 30s, people hiding their money. That's why it comes, hide your money under your bed, under your mattress. That's where it comes from. They didn't trust the banks back in the 30s, you know?
No one trusts the banks, even today.
Every 80 years, they call it the great forgetting. We forget that those people have died off, and now it's happening again.
Well, because we won't be alive to tell people 100 years from now what we went through, right?
Well, the way it's going, Mike, none of us will be alive in 100 years.
I know that, but I'm saying like it's like electronic book burning. They're deleting websites, deleting important knowledge that could better our lives, but they're removing it electronically. It's the same thing like burning books.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic. Yeah,
that's for Mike in the Night.
Yeah,
that's
lost
for Mike
history.
In the Night. Okay. I'm going to kick you off now. And,
yeah, no worries, man.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And you know what, Mike in the Night, let's if you want to come on, let me know. Maybe Skype me later and let me know what you think we should talk about on Mike in the Night, like a good topic. Something really down to earth, something that everyone could relate with, and something that could help people.
We're going to get a whole bunch of us out at my cottage next summer for a special Mike in the Night episode on the dock. We'll do it live on the dock with all of us.
Could, like if we arrange it with enough time and I could, maybe go with the family and kind of take a road trip type of thing.
Yeah, no, we'll fly out here. I got a guest cottage. It sleeps 6, right on the lake, man.
Right. Okay. That's good to, for sure. Like a million%. Like, because I'm planning to do like 2 weeks every summer off, and I'm planning to do 2 weeks every January off and go to Mexico or something for 2 weeks in January, because it's kind of a slow month for me at the store.
Yeah, I got that big rubber tube called the Airhead. It sits 3 people. You'll pull it behind the boat.
Oh no, I'm not. I've seen something. I saw a guy lose a leg with one of those.
No, just easy. You go on there with your little kids there. Your boy anyway. Mm-hmm. But just go slow and easy. They'll have the best time of their life on that thing.
Yeah, true. All right. Yeah, okay, message me through the week. Let me know what you think for Mike in the Night.
Okay, try and get Steve the plumber on there.
Yeah, he's in the comments. I'm going to get him before he takes off.
Okay, right on. Have a good night. Bye.
That is the Raven, 2-time world champion on the show, giving us a little insight. Where's STP? Steve, turn on your thing, man. I haven't talked to you in a while. I've been trying to call you. I even called you like 3 times saying, oh, nobody there, or no answer. Yeah, I keep getting no answer. I hope he's not mad at me. Steve, I'm trying to call you. Turn on your Skype. Steve is offline. He is offline. I tried to get him on last week, and then he disappeared from the comments. And then I tried to get him on. I tried to see him when I was in Toronto. Okay, give him a minute. All right. I know he's busy. I know he's busy. Oh, we got Stephanie calling. Hey, Steph, what's going on?
Mike, man, I tell you, it's been a while, but yeah, I've been staying on top of it, but just really super busy, with school and all that, and I still did some online schoolwork this summer, traveled the country while doing it. I'm back in Florida now, but let me tell you, I saw so many things out there that just almost terrify me driving across the country. I see people in way over their heads, and they kind of seem to be in a state of confusion, like they don't know what's going on right now. They're thinking, well, my house is still worth such and such amount of money, and yet they sit on the market 30 to 60 days and they're not getting the amount of money they want. People are saying, well, maybe you should lower the prices or whatever. Now these iBuyers are coming in, and the guy took this one guy, particularly in Colorado, he took his for sale sign down. It's like, oh, you sold your house. He's like, yeah, an iBuyer person just basically just gave him what he wanted for it. The house, I think he paid $225 and he sold it for $375.
Wow,
And,
that's a dream come true for most Canadians. Because right now in Canada, I mean, you can't buy anything like in one of the major cities for under 800,000 for something decent.
Yeah. But yeah, the wages are kind of all over the place. Unfortunately, in America, one size doesn't fit all. If you get my drift, as far as the living wage to what the cost of living is. Colorado, there's areas, because I used to live in Colorado back in the early 2000s, and there was lots of open space not far from where I used to live, and it was just gorgeous. You could see the mountains, it was clear blue skies. Now all that open space has been all developed by shopping, businesses, and hospitals and houses. These houses are starting out south of Denver over $400,000, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I can't believe the houses there used to go for about 175 to maybe 200 for a luxury house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like the market there is so upside down. It's not funny, mainly because of the hemp, the marijuana stuff. All the Californians fleeing out, and as I was driving toward California. It was back in June, early July, around the 4th. I couldn't believe the amount of U-Hauls and people with just their trucks and their vans loaded down with all their worldly possessions leaving California, because
California
it's so
is like
expensive
the mass
there.
exodus that Moses discussed in the chapter of the Bible of Exodus. That's what California is. It's the movement of the people, and so many people have left California. I think 7 million people or 8 million people now have left California in the last 7 years.
Yeah, and I went back to, go look at, some places there, visit some friends. I was doing my schoolwork. It's a little bit cooler there than in Florida, if you can imagine. But, it was nice, but I mean, I could not believe the amount of for sale signs, Mike. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. The further you get out, like into the desert area, I mean, for sale, for sale, for sale. Everything's for sale. I mean, and yeah, California has definitely been sold out to the highest bidder, i.e., that country to the east or to the west of California. I won't say where, but I'm sure your listeners have an idea where. But there's places that were like, wait a minute, am I in America? Can you speak some English to me?
Mm-hmm.
These people don't even speak any English.
Yeah, no, it's Chinese.
I'm like, you're coming in with all this money, buying every
California, Oregon, and Washington State. Since about 2007, 8, 9, just after the crash, you started seeing a lot of Chinese coming over and buying up, basically, California. Basically, buying whatever they can get their hands on.
Yeah, and I mean, I took for spring break, I went to Seattle just for like 3 or 4 days, because I hadn't been back in years. And I was curious, and I just knew it. I could feel it, that people were so unsettled there, it wasn't funny. I could tell they knew that something wasn't right. And I was talking to quite a few homeowners, and they're like, yeah, we're preparing, because it's coming, because we've jacked our prices up way too much here. And the average citizen cannot afford anymore. People were actually leaving people leaving good paying jobs because they can't afford to live there anymore. And then the traffic, and they said it's just the quality of life has gone down the toilet. You know, it's caused a huge problem. And specifically in California, I had to go to downtown because I had to go to a science center and the observatory there for one of my classes. And I was just, oh my God, Mike, the amount of homeless people. I left trembling and crying because areas I used to go shop at 10, 20 years ago in Los Angeles is nothing but homeless and all boarded up now. And then the media and the news, you don't see them showing or talking about this much. You know? I'm just like, what has happened to Los Angeles? This place used to host the Olympics, and they're supposed to be hosting an Olympics in 2024. And I'm thinking, really, with all these homeless people, what are you going to do with them? Send them off to a camp somewhere in the desert?
Well, no, they'll do what Vancouver did. They just bus them to small towns.
It's a serious problem, Mike. It is a way serious. I mean, until you go and physically see this stuff and meet these people, you just... I broke down and cried in my car because I was just so heartbroken to see these people and people living out of their vehicles. You know, RV City parking lots and McDonald's and the Walmarts. And I'm just like, oh my God, how can they act like nothing is going on? And yet pretend to be a politician that cares and loves for the poor person.
Well, here it is. I brought this up earlier in the show at the beginning. So California is sitting on 135,000 homeless people right now. And that is going to get worse, apparently, with a couple of food banks, some of the major food banks closing, and 22 shelters closing in the next 2 months because they're not getting any government support.
Well, and to make matters worse, you know, California charges CRV taxes for like plastic bottles, cans, and that kind of thing. And the homeless go around picking up this stuff and, you know, in parks, and basically they're the trash patrol people that go around picking up all this recyclable stuff so they can get some money. Well, now because of China's situation and economy, they're shutting down a lot of the recycling places in California because China's not wanting to buy so much of any of this recycling stuff anymore. So now this is going to even have more of a huge effect on not only just the average person, but let alone these homeless people. I mean, you'd see a person on a bicycle with about 5 or 6 to 10 bags, I kid you not, of recyclable plastic bottles and cans and glass on their bicycle going to a recycling center. I was at a recycling center there one day waiting an hour. One guy had almost 20 bags of plastic and cans, and he got like 40, 50 bucks. And I was like, holy smokes. You know, I only had I got maybe $7, $8 worth, but I was like, oh my goodness. But just the things you see getting out there, Mike, it's just, it blows my mind. And then I drove there, coming back to Florida, I drove through Las Vegas, houses going up galore all over the place. Townhomes, because you know they have that new Raiders stadium that they're building there now in Las Vegas off the Strip. So that's going to it might help a little bit because, you know, you've got Californians moving there, but still the pay, and it's just terrible, Mike. I mean, Vegas depends on casino people, tourists, and, you know, people gambling and retirees. Yeah. Well, Vegas is starting to get too pricey. It's getting a little too pricey. Obviously not as expensive as California, but it's getting there.
Well, California, Nevada has been having a massive uptick in intermigration of Californians moving to Nevada, and they're bringing up the prices. And we're seeing a lot of rent evictions where tenants are getting evicted, so they could rent it out to Californians for more money.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of defaults right now and a lot of foreclosures. They were up to the highest, the most, getting to be the busiest, to now the least amount. People are leaving. People are actually coming to Florida now. It's getting bad here. I'm seeing all these Canadian plates, and I'm seeing all these, believe it or not, there was about 5 or 6 U-Hauls that I passed with California cars on the back being towed, coming to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, holy smokes. But Utah, it seems like Utah has cooled down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Utah went on a bidding war binge for a little while because a lot of people left Washington State because they escaped Seattle, and the cost of living there was just phenomenal because the speculation and foreign investing there went out of control.
Yes, Utah has cooled down. New Mexico is kind of in the middle of the road. They never really went too high. They did slightly for a while. But there's still bargains. The problem, though, in New Mexico, though, the wages there are terrible. Unless you're self-employed or an entrepreneur or a celebrity, it's hard to make a decent living in New Mexico. And plus, they have state taxes there. They take money out of your checks. Texas is it's still slightly booming, but it's getting a little crazy busy. A lot of the locals there are that have been there since probably Texas became a state, many generations. People are getting fed up with all these outside people coming in. You don't have that hometown feel anymore where people were let you out, wave to you. How are you doing today? You don't have any of that going on there in Texas anymore.
Well, Fort Worth,
it's
Texas,
becoming too big of a rat race, and a lot of locals are moving out.
Yeah, I know. Fort Worth, Texas is booming right now. That's the city to go to right now for housing. It's the wages are good, and wages in Fort Worth, Texas are about 2.8% of the price of a house. So your wages should be in line in Fort Worth, Texas if you buy a house in Fort Worth, Texas. And that's why Fort Worth, Texas right now is one of the best cities to buy in.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, obviously Texas is a big oil and gas mecca. The tech business has been booming there, and there's Toyota moved there from California, AAA's headquarters, 7-Eleven. So there's a lot of businesses that have moved from these liberal states and moved to Texas because they have no state income tax, and Texas is giving huge tax incentives and benefits for 30 years, not charging these businesses taxes. To move to Texas. So they're kind of playing it right. Sadly, though, my home state of Louisiana is not doing that well right now. They've had that flooding again, late June, early July. New Orleans got flooded again. A lot of houses are severely underwater. I mean, not just physically, but literally, with the values aren't worth. Louisiana has kind of gone down because they depend strictly on oil and gas and fracking.
Yeah.
So and unfortunately, a lot of these bargains you might see online, they were underwater at one time physically with flooding.
And the mold.
So you're buying a house with potential mold and issues down the road.
That's the problem.
It's not a good bargain, in my opinion. And plus, you got high flood insurance premiums and all that. So sadly, Louisiana is not doing that well right now. Mississippi's doing okay because they have casinos down in the Gulf Coast region there and stuff like that. Mississippi's never went out of control. I mean, my sister actually moved there.
You can go to Ole Miss right now. You can still pick something up for under $180,000, a nice house of land.
Yeah, the way the jobs there though, Mike, they really don't pay that much. If you're coming with old money, or you're as a retiree, you can live in Mississippi very comfortably right now.
Yeah.
You know, Alabama has a decent economy. They're not doing that bad. Obviously, the Gulf Coast, because of hurricanes, they've had issues. And yeah, the panhandle of Florida is still ravaged by that hurricane last fall.
Hold on. I got a
Or
message here
yeah.
from Tyler. He's saying driverless now. 24 hours ago, truckers in Missouri want to outlaw self-driving trucks. So yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not working because and a lot of those truckers, Mike, are former military people. Yeah, because did motor T in the military, so a lot of those guys have gone to trucking school or whatever they needed to do to get certified, for the private sector, and so they've transitioned over. So a lot of these guys, this is their bread and butter, and for them to turn around and do this to us, kind of like, a stab in the back, after they've served their country and now they're being put out of a job. It's just a bunch of hooey, in my opinion. But Florida, I mean, here in Orlando, obviously, it's mostly the bigger sectors here in Orlando. Obviously, is tourism and the colleges, and you've got a lot of science, a little bit of tech, because of NASA and Cocoa Beach. I'm like maybe 30-45 minutes from Cocoa Beach. So you've got that sector here. So that's fairly stable. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's science. If you're into tech or science, research, or you do tourism, hospitality, you would be fine here in Florida. Unfortunately, the wages are kind of hit and miss as to, what you make. It's just all over the place. But the rents have gone up a lot here. Used to be able to get a one bedroom $850-900 a month. Now the one bedrooms are, to get in a decent part of town, you're looking at around $1,200 to $1,400 a month. Yeah.
Whoa.
$1,400 for a one bedroom. I looked at kid you not, I looked at a 550 square foot one bedroom apartment the other day. They wanted $1,175 for it.
That's wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's cheap compared to California.
Oh
because
yeah,
in California I used to pay like
I don't know if you saw the article I
$1,400.
read a few days ago that now a 2-bedroom apartment in the city of Vancouver, Canada is $3,040.
I know. Well, the 2-bedroom 2-bath in an area where I used to not live far from, I subletted for a month from this one girl, the 1-bedroom out, with my own bathroom and all that. Unfortunately, that set me back a little bit, but I was near the beach. But yeah, I mean, that apartment is like $2,300, $2,400 a month.
Wow.
For a 2-bedroom 2-bath.
Wow.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. But yeah, the taxes are high. The road congestion is high. I mean, probably food is probably the cheapest thing you're going to find there. I noticed the food cost there is actually, in California, you can get much better produce and all that compared to Florida, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The prices in Florida are actually a lot more expensive than they are in California for your grocery bill.
Yeah.
Based on the wages. But I mean, Universal Studios just purchased 500 acres. They're about to build another theme park here in Orlando.
Wow.
Yeah. So Disney, and they just finished a huge 4 or 5 tower resort. Almost looks like Vegas. Universal did for vacation resorts and that kind of thing. And then south of town, I guess Disney bought some ranch property, and they're planning on expanding into having another park. But most of these jobs, Mike, sadly, they just don't pay that much.
Yeah.
I mean, you're barely at making a living wage here, barely. Compared to your cost of living. Car insurance in Florida is terrible. It's just, it's a no-fault state, and you know, people here, all these tourists and people from another country, sadly, they're not used to driving these roads, and there's accidents just all over the place.
Yeah, bad
You
driving
know,
everywhere.
very bad driving compared to most of the country. I have to admit, Orlando's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's very bad. I'd say DC is probably the worst in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and LA. But it's probably up there in the top 5, Orlando, for driving, because you got so many tourists. They don't know where they're going, and
Yeah.
the people from you know, England and Ireland, they, you know, they're used to driving different side of the road, so and the steering wheel's on the other side, so it's a little different here. But housing here, Mike, it's not. It's okay. Sadly, though, Mike, don't let it fool you, and I'm sure you already know this. Most of the market is driven by iBuyers right now. These investors are just causing, they're not allowing the market to drop as it would, or as it did back in the last housing bubble and housing crisis, 2007, 2008. They're not allowing it to happen, the natural progress of deflation.
Yeah, and that's the problem here in Canada. They've not allowing it to happen for over 15 years now.
No.
So
No.
we're in a lot of trouble here. We're in a lot of trouble.
No.
All right,
Well, I
Stephanie.
can tell you, well, really fast, I can tell you that I'm telling you, people may not believe it or not. I don't care. You can believe whatever you want to believe. All right. But astrologically, I'm telling you right now, we need to prepare for between December and next summer, because it's not going to be pretty. We're going to actually end up having a serious financial crisis, and on the stock market plummeting probably close to half of what it is right now, if not 60%. It's going to happen. Astrologically, it's telling us what's going to happen. And I told you, with Mars and the Sun being conjunct this summer, the real estate was going to go down. It wasn't going to keep, you know, moving upwards.
Well,
but
no, it can't, because
we're gonna have to have a new currency, Mike. We're just gonna have to. They're talking going zero interest rates here.
Yeah.
They're going to. And believe it or not, I know people think Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that. Trump is playing the hand of the monetary system right now, and or the Fed Reserve, who's not federal and has no reserve, which a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But so he's playing them right now. He's trying to use a lot of what he's doing for leverage, i.e. even with China. I mean, this thing isn't done with yet, Mike. It's not done with. But we're going to have to go back to the gold standard. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's way too many people. The millennials, they cannot buy a house. They're living out of their vehicles, if not in their parents' basement. And it's something has to give, because there's too many vacant houses and nobody's living in them.
Yeah.
That's not what a house is for, Mike.
I know, and that's what I've been talking about, the vacant homes. And that's why they're pushing for a vacant home tax right now in Seattle, and they're pushing for a vacant home tax in Oregon.
It's something's got to give. They need to put laws into effect to where they protect the average citizen that has never owned a home over these iBuyers coming in, and i.e. You know, the different Zillow and all these people are getting in the housing market now. Why? Houses are not made to be invested in, Mike. They're not.
For me, a house is to raise my family and lay roots.
Right, but you're fortunate you have a house. I've never even owned a home, and I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mind you, I'm in grad school now, you know, but I mean, I'm thinking, I've only got 2 more years of school. What am I going to do when I get out of school? You know, I want to be able to buy a house, but at these prices, I've looked all over the country, high and low, Mike. That's why I went on my tour this summer to figure out, well, where can I afford to live? I can't afford to live anywhere, turns out.
Yeah.
Based on, you know, making $36,000 to $40,000 a year, it's almost next to impossible to have any kind of lifestyle without having to have a roommate. And that's just no life. It's not. It's okay if it's temporarily, but it gets old. It truly does. you know. But I appreciate all that you're doing, Mike. Stay on top of it. You got a good thing going here, and all I can say is, I don't know. We need to prepare for the storm. People need to pay off the credit card bills right now.
Mm-hmm.
They need to pay off the credit card bills. It's just, and save some cash on the side and buy gold and silver, and maybe a little bit of copper and platinum. Yeah, those are the best ways. Diversify, as they say.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I appreciate all you're doing, Mike. And then the Uneducated Economist, I tell you, I listen to him as well. He's awesome, and I really appreciate it when you put him on your show, because he usually doesn't his videos aren't that long, but then when he goes with you, I like how he gives, kind of that different perspective in a little bit longer period of time.
Yeah. I'll have him back on the show in another week or two to give us a perspective on what's happening in the Oregon / Washington / California region.
Yeah, he's talking about all these mills shutting down. Almost every video he's been doing the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been talking about certain lumber mills shutting down because the businesses they're not profitable any longer.
Right.
So this is a problem. This is a problem because those blue collar workers are now unemployed.
That's not good. That's not good for the tax man.
No, not at all. But God bless you, Mike. I appreciate it. I love your show. I love your audience. And hopefully you can get Steve the plumber back on.
Oh, he's
I haven't
probably
heard
sleeping
from
now.
him
It's
in a while.
8, 9, 10, 11. It's probably 12 o'clock there. I'm not sure if he's awake right now, but we'll see if I can get him.
It's about it's a quarter till 12 here in Florida, so we're on the same time zone. So it's almost midnight here.
Okay. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us.
You as well, Mike. Thank you. I'll give you more updates as
you.
I get them. Thank you.
Bye. That's Stephanie from Florida. I think she did 2 or 3 tours and military tours. Yeah, so wood has gone down in price, and then Daniel O'Brien is saying, wood has gone down in price, yet the wood to the customer has skyrocketed. Yeah? Well, what do you think? What do you think was going to happen? The price of wood goes down from the manufacturer, the customer pays more. Since when do you think we get a break? All right, what's going on here, guys? Everyone's a little bit of guys, smarten up in the comment section. Smarten up. Need people respecting each other, please. Respect everybody's boundaries, please. Respect everyone. Respect and love each other. I don't know if Steve's still there. I hope he didn't get arrested. No, he's not on Skype though. His Skype is not turned on. No, he's not. He's offline. Our friends at Bitcoin dropped under 10K, low roller scratcher. So it's low. I like low roller scratcher's channel. Okay, let's see what's happening here in Australia here.
Across the ceiling, so damp the light had to be disconnected, leaving a family of 5 to shower by torch for 3 years.
This is simply a disgrace.
We can't identify the families in this block, but one father believes these spores are exacerbating his son's asthma. Upstairs, a mother says her son vomits and suffers nosebleeds.
There's no temperature, there's no other symptoms other than we've just had a shower.
Forking out $500 on charcoal pouches and dehumidifiers.
I just can't live like this and being sick all the time.
Living in a home with a heavy mould infestation.
Where's the tenant? Where's the owner of this place? Where's the landlord?
Is certainly dangerous to your health.
Outside, sewage spills onto the street. The Housing Department website says electrical hazards and sewer overflows should be addressed in 2 to 8 hours. These families have waited years for proper repairs.
What the hell is going on? These Australia, Canada, they're all turning into third world countries. Adrian saying, I can tell you my family wouldn't be showering by candlelight for 3 years. Yeah. What, I got no sound now? Yeah, Australia is real something if it is Sydney. Someone's saying it's been like this for a long time, Mike. Like, I've never seen this I've never seen, like, what is this? You call the landlord, hey, listen, I pay the rent every month here. You gotta fix this. SA, listen to me, SA. Well, I don't understand, like,
For mould, tenancy rights state the landlord is obliged to repair the problem. The landlord, the state government, left the department to answer questions today.
This matter will obviously come under review to see where the standard operating procedures have failed us.
After speaking with residents, Labor is now raising questions about whether enough money is being spent to maintain this unit block and what its future might hold.
Whether or not they will be here.
That girl's cute.
Or if this is going to be part of the sale off from this government.
The government's already netted $750 million from the sale of the Sirius building at the Rocks and public housing at Millers Point. Ocean Views making the Coogee block a potentially lucrative target, but the department categorically rejects it's being neglected.
We are certainly not.
And state politics reporter Liz Daniels joins.
You gotta get politics out of this crap. Someone saying, landlord will get a new tenant. We migrated to Australia. I wish we never did. And blame you for the mold. Yeah, that's what they usually do. They blame you. Yeah. Man. This is pretty bad, guys. Like, you would think these countries would be on you know, like, at least, you know. This is another one, and I was talking about this with the Raven. Me and the Raven were talking about this earlier, and I brought it up earlier. Boomers going bust as record numbers file for bankruptcy. This is not good. These boomers should be self-sufficient, taking care of themselves, and preparing for their death. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I already bought my cemetery plot for me. Like, I already bought where I'm going to be buried. Like, it's I don't get it. Like, in Seattle's housing crisis, can backyard cottages help families reconnect? Nope. So Seattle's going to do what London did. I don't remember if you guys remember that. What's that mayor of London? I forgot his name. Hussein or something? That mayor of London. I don't know, Hussein or something? I don't remember his name. Anyways, he had a big speech. Oh, Khan. He had a speech about using up all of London's green space to create and build up and keep building so they could fix this housing thing, legalizing all these, like, backyard cottages and stuff, and yeah, it didn't work for London. Prices are still in a 2-year decline, 3-year decline. Overbuilding London did not work. It made things worse. Right? Now you're going to have more empty homes because no one could afford to live in them. So yeah. So the zoning laws are doing that. Now they're going to allow 200 square feet. Backyard cottages. Oh, God. I don't believe in that. That's a bunch of crap. I think that's just going to ruin... I think it's just going to ruin the landscape is what's going to do. So many places, so many people, everyone's running out of money. People are really having a tough time getting into a housing market anymore. Housing market's pretty much rest in peace for most people anyway. You know? It's rest in peace for most people when it comes to they've already given up on a house, and then you start seeing people stay single, and you usually, you know, people would want to start a family, lay roots, and vacation once a year. But now, you know, like the life of the Griswolds, I think, is going to be a fable. The Griswolds, Lampoon's Vacation. I think it's going to be a thing of the past. You know, family bonding, we're becoming more and more divided, and this it all starts with low wages and the increase of prices of assets by lowering interest rates. Historically low interest rate has put us into this position right now. I did a video the other day where living in a van is becoming a brand new lifestyle for most people, right? That's what dang 0088 saying, buy a mobile van, right? House costs too much. Here it is here. I made a video the other day. Here we go. Top 5 affordable stealth vans. Australian military prepares to defend the North against a potential Chinese invasion. What can we do, Mike? Give us some advice. What I would say, honestly, is start reconnecting with everybody. Friends. Start going out more. Stay off the electronics when you go out. Start reconnecting. You'll start finding opportunity through others. Because that's how we used to network. We used to talk to each other. You know? That's the first step. Start disconnecting from the dependency of electronics. Okay? And then from there, start enjoying life more without having to spend money. Because some of the best things in life are free. And then you'll start seeing things start working in your favor. You know? It's so easy to love. It's so easy to love. It's so easy to love. And it takes a lot of work to hate, believe me. This is the future, Mike. I'm 40 and I'm staying single because I can't afford to meet or take a girl out. Well, no, it's not about that. Right? Like a good example is, do you remember Titanic? Okay, I know it's a crummy example, but do you remember Titanic? Do you remember? Do you remember what happened? Jack basically was himself. And he won Rose's heart, or Rose's friendship, or Rose's love in the movie. And all he had to do was be himself. If you could find, you know, if it's a woman you're worried about, then you know what? If it's a woman you're worried about, just be yourself. And the right person will come around. And if you can't afford to take a woman out, then she'll understand that, because she's going to like you for you. Right? There's a lot. There's just being yourself. Being yourself is taking down the walls. That's why I'm so transparent in a lot of my videos. I had a family member tell me, why are you putting your life on YouTube? I'm like, well, one, nobody really cares. But two, I want other people to see that there are struggles in life. You know, my dad passed away. My dad passed away. Then I had, now I found out this morning, you know, my uncle is on life support. at 56 years old. So it's hard, you know. It's hard. And money gets you things, right? But money can't buy you a good conversation with somebody. Money can't buy you it's hard to explain. Money is nice because money is good for comfort. You're comfortable. That's what money's for, comfort. Not love. Not creating the moment. None of it. People are saying chatting is good, spreads opinion and ideas. Of course it does. Money's just a tool. Yeah, I see money as a tool like you would use to, like paper mache, to build something out of it. Right? Roller Scratcher saying money can buy you a wife today in today's society. No, you see, that's what you don't want. Money will make you more happy. I don't think so. Money will make you more comfortable. Yes, but money won't make you happy. Yep, money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy you nothing. Money can only get you around. Money could buy you some knowledge if you look in the right places for education purposes. Money could get you comfort, a place to sleep, clothing to change your clothing and stuff like that. Money buys you that stuff, comfort. But it doesn't buy you the moment, the real moment in life, the true moment. Why do you think a lot of people that spend a lot of time in solitary confinement in prisons end up finding themselves? Why? It's because it's them. They start finding themselves because they've in solitary, let's say for a month, 3 weeks, start realizing and start coming to grips and terms and start actually coming to a point of reasoning with themselves that they would have never had if they had $1 million. Yeah, someone's saying the immoral accumulation of money is evil. Mr. E saying, not one jot or title shall be taken from the word. Adrian saying, my condolences, Mike. Sorry for your loss. Lost my dad and it's painful. You have memories and that's beautiful. What do you watch saying you need to objective morality to have morality? Again, if you don't have money, Mike Martins, you will be homeless. Again, money buys comfort. I said that. A place to live, clothing, a dishwasher. Money buys you comfort. Right? Money doesn't buy you the moment. Why do you think they made those commercials back in the 90s and the early 2000s with MasterCard? Their camera, $66. Film, $22. Drive across America, $55. And the experience you get driving across America, priceless. For some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Remember that, guys? That's true. It's the moment you can't buy. Money is a container for storing value, says Briggs. No, see, yes. Money is just a way to gauge how wealthy you are. Right? It's like kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour tell you how fast you're going. But kilometers per hour on a gauge in a car doesn't tell you how fast your car goes. It's the same thing with money. Kilometers per hour on a gauge on a car tells you how fast you're going, but it doesn't tell you how fast your car could potentially go. Right? And it's the same thing with money. The sky's the limit, right? I need to buy a home or an apartment to make myself feel I've made it in life. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. No, you don't need a home or you don't need that stuff to reassure yourself that you've made it in life. No, you don't. No, you don't. Mr. E says fellowship with the world is enmity towards God. James 4:4. Someone saying money buys your time back in a sense. Okay, but that time is the moment. It's not the Ferrari you buy with the money. It's that moment. So money can't buy the moment. And that moment is what you take with you when you die. When you die, I believe in a life after death. You take your memories with you. That's what my dad always told me. My dad, Antonio Manuel Martins, used to say, you only take your memories with you when you leave this world. So make good ones. You know what I'm saying? There he is there. And he still lives through me, you know. Still lives through me. 66 years old. Yeah. And you know what I wanted? All I wanted was for him to live long enough to see his grandkids, you know, go through school, maybe high school, to kind of be around, watch his grandkids grow up. That's all I ever wanted for him. So Raven's saying, money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in from the seat of a Lambo than a bicycle. Again, that's the moment, right? That's comfort, right? And that's created comfort. I think the seats of a Lamborghini are comfortable, but you're buying comfort, right? Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm tired. I've been talking here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. Let's do yeah, my mom is still alive. Yeah. Oh, we got Leaf calling in. Yo, what's up, dog?
Hey, so what's your opinion on the fact that money won't buy you happiness? This is true, I agree, but the pursuit, the setting goals, making money, the pursuit of making the cash, that gives you happiness when you set those milestones. Right. And that's the fuel that keeps the human going, because that's human nature, is to have some difficulties. Like, say if you play a video game or something, you don't want to play on easy mode because that's no fun. You play it on the difficult mode. Right. And some people are more crazy. Some people are more ambitious, more hardworking, and they'll put it on the most difficult mode, and it's punishing. But when they beat it, it's the feeling of accomplishment. When people you have ultra rich people, right? A lot of them are depressed. Mm-hmm. They've done studies on this. It's because they're lazy. They don't do anything with that money. They're not working. And then same thing with people on welfare who are broke and they bitch about life and they don't do anything. And they're also depressed. People without goals, then they don't set, you got to set proper goals in increments of difficulty that are realistic. But money won't buy you happiness, but making the money will.
Yes. But creating, it's like a hobby. Like, a lot of people don't make money from their hobbies, but they're happy doing their hobbies. Mm-hmm. So that's like money to me, like a hobby. Like, you see it as a hobby where, like, for example, someone likes to collect rocks or someone likes to collect rare stamps, and they pursue that and they find and all that stuff, right? But that makes them happy. It doesn't make them any money, but it gives them that moment of happiness. It creates that moment, right?
Yeah, no one the collector doesn't want the easy stamps. He wants to get the hard ones. He wants to find the deals. He wants to collect, trade, and he wants to do, the better he has it at, whatever it is. It's like I said, it's about the journey rather than the journey of accumulation of wealth than it is actually having the wealth.
Well, because you notice how people win the lottery, they end up going bankrupt, but the people that created their wealth and built it, they never go bankrupt.
Correct. And then you always have a second generation rich that ends up going broke and then repeating rent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So people, the when you say money won't buy you happiness, that it's somewhat true, but it is somewhat false also.
No, okay, look, money buys, I said, comfort. Right? Money buys comfort.
Can help. Money can help you set bigger and bigger goals as you're going through in life. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier. It's a lot harder to turn, say, $10,000 into $100,000 than it is $100,000 into $1 million.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. But the problem is a lot of the people that have the million or the $10 million don't have the. They don't have. I don't want to say the drive, but they don't have the. Look, the wolf climbing the hill is hungrier than the wolf on top of the hill.
I wouldn't completely agree with that. I know some wealthy people that they could have retired ages ago. Like I have a friend of mine who's very close that he owns 3 properties in British Columbia, one in Richmond, one in Vancouver, and one in Chilliwack. And he also just bought a business this year for $500,000. But the point of the matter is I told him, I said, why don't you ever retire? And his response was like, what, am I going to just be depressed and sit at home all day?
Yeah.
So you even have you think about these billionaires. Think for instance, the Oklahoma, what was his profit? Berkshire Hathaway. Why am I not having trouble remembering his name all of a sudden? Warren Buffett. You think he needs to go to work every day? He does, but does.
My cousin knows Warren Buffett, and my cousin knows his sister.
Yeah, but the point of the matter,
and he told me Warren Buffett still drives this old beat up Cadillac. And
you know why?
Yeah, he told me. He was telling me. He was explaining that to me.
Well, I don't know, but my best assumption would be is it's because of the day he quits. He knows he's gonna be he's probably gonna die. Mm-hmm. Because people need goals. People need something to work towards. If you start rotting away when you're not doing anything, and you're just
mm-hmm.
sitting with it basically, right? And then you look at all the billionaires; they work their asses off, and they just keep accumulating wealth. It's not because of like human greed. It's because of human nature is wired to do something, right? You're not wired. Humans evolved to just sit on their ass all day.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part.
We're wired to compete with each other, and in a market-driven economy. And as soon as you try and opt out of that, that's when your depression kicks in, and then you have people the doctors cutting out these prescriptions and everything, and people are just depressed, and society's rotting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm going to let you go because I'm falling asleep, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that or give my 2 cents on that.
Thanks, brother. You have yourself a good night, and I'll probably see you on Mike in the Night if you're available.
Of course. Ciao for now, buddy.
Ciao. Adios. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming on tonight. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, I have, I think, 12 Patreon supporters here. Yeah, I got 12 Patreon supporters. If you want to donate $1 a month, probably have to buy a new microphone soon. And $1 a month goes to my coffee habits. Drinking coffee. Coffee ain't free. Coffee ain't free. So don't forget to subscribe, share some of my videos, get out there, and maybe contact other channels, guys, that you guys normally comment on. guys, you know, channels that you comment on and other channels you watch and stuff, why don't you go on that channel in the comments, say, hey, why don't you go on the Mike Martins? Maybe you guys could team up, because Mike Martins, you know, doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he's got a really strong following. See, I don't want 1 million subs and then have only 70 people that, you know, contribute, whether through comments or sharing videos. I'd rather have 10,000 subscribers and have like the amount of, you know, flow that we have here and how we actually look out for each other and stuff like that. I'd rather have that than have 1 million subscribers. Like, what's the point? I mean, then it becomes pointless. It's almost like you're not really reaching out to individuals anymore. You're just kind of, yeah. So let people know, other channels know, if they want to come on or if they want to do a show together. I'd appreciate that if you went to one of your favorite YouTube channels and asked them to maybe do something with me and cooperate with me. Money GPS, someone saying to contact Money GPS. Raven said he's talked to Money GPS. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure who he is. I've heard of that GPS ground positioning. I heard of this channel somewhere. I don't know why. I think it's come up in my feed here. I'm not subscribed to it though. Let me see. No, I'm not. Yeah. No. Peter Schiff, Kaiser Report, Formafist here. Yeah, I subscribe. Just Cringe, Diversity Channel. There's quite a few actually that I subscribe to here. But no, he's not one of them. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who we could get. Maybe I could get Noticias Telemundo on my channel. Maybe I get Noticias Telemundo. Yeah. Anyways. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking your time with me. And, yeah. Share this video. Get it out there. Get it viral. Mike in the Night this Saturday. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Please let me know what you want to talk about, because I want to talk on Saturday nights. Mike in the Night. Let's see who we can get on the show. Let's see what we do. Low Roller Scratcher was saying, Mike, we should do a Money Doesn't Buy You Happiness show. Yeah. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Well, we know that. Money buys you the moment. Money buys you comfort. Money buys you the... Well, it doesn't buy you the moment. It creates the moment, right? Yeah. Anyways, I'm confused. Have a good night, guys. God bless. And we'll see you on Mike in the Night live, okay? Thanks for watching.